Hello everyone, I'm Ilan Kidron and I'm with my good friend
Yossi Friedman.
First of all, Yossi, thank you so much for being a good friend on our runs every Thursday. It's really exciting for me to wake up and look forward to these. Yeah.
Likewise with me, Ilan. It's been great past the month getting out there, taking off our shirts, jumping in the water after I run. Good to be out in nature, appreciating the finer things in life.
Getting in the water.
Yeah. So Ilan told me something quite amazing, a beautiful story about his dad when we were in the ocean a few weeks back. And just by the way, before we get into that story, I mean, often I find it all the time whenever I run, often the greatest insights and wisdom pops into my head when I'm outside, when we're doing something different. You can sit in front of a desk and try and come up with a song or come up with a sermon, and sometimes it just doesn't come. Get outside, do a run, be out there in nature, and it just flows. Do you find that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this morning it was raining a little bit as well. It was beautiful to feel, a different sort of climate. And the body felt good, and it was just good to be out in nature, as you say. Sometimes when I'm stuck as well, you might be in a writing session or you might be in the middle of kind of writing a sermon or whatever. It's good to get outside, obviously.
Yeah.
And never take it for granted, because there's new things to see, depending on your mindset, and it really opens me up.
Yeah. So what was that story? Please tell everyone that story.
It's a good story. My father, he used to study at the yeshiva with a young rabbi that he was introduced to, and it was a young New York rabbi who was there as the Chabad do, and they had a deal going on where Dad would learn from him, and then my father would take this young kid who'd only probably just learned how to swim out surfing. So this whole kid's fantasy, this young rabbi's fantasy, was to learn how to surf. Anyway, one day they got into deep trouble out in Bondi, troubled waters, and they almost drowned, the both of them. My father tried to save him. They were at the south end of Bondi, which a lot of you guys will know as the notorious end of Bondi. Big, strong rips. And especially if you don't know the beach, you can get in a lot of trouble very quickly. You can all of a sudden be out the back. Anyway, they almost drowned, and they found themselves coughing up loads of water on the shore in the sand. And the young rabbi turns around to my father and says, "Now I understand." And my father's like, "What do you mean? What do you understand?" "What do you understand?" He says, "Mayim rabim lo yuchlu lechasot et ahava." And translated,
that's from Song of Songs, King Solomon, the
King
wisest
Solomon
of all men.
There you go. Relentless waters will not quench your love. This saying came to him. What amazed Dad was not necessarily the passage, but the fact that as this rabbi was drowning, it wasn't on the shore that he remembered this quote. It was while he was actually drowning that it came to him, and I guess it was a testament to his faith, maybe. I don't know what it means, but a good story nevertheless.
That's a brilliant story. I mean, to me, when I go with Ilan in the water, I often feel like he's that version of his father, and I'm the guy who's like virtually drowning.
Hardly.
Underneath those waves.
This guy is a gazelle. Don't listen to him. He runs faster than anyone.
Swim is a different story.
Still, you're fit. You can handle yourself.
But to me, that's a beautiful message. I mean, I feel for that young rabbi. I can really imagine that. His life is, he sees, flashing in front of his eyes, and he's just thinking about love. And to me, the Kabbalah speaks about love and how love can't be, diminished. It can't be. It's something which is almost like an eternal. It's linked with your soul. Your soul is infinite, and the love which lives inside your soul is also infinite. And it's just beautiful how often it comes out. Often at certain moments in life. Sometimes when you are under pressure. Sometimes when you're put in those situations, suddenly the love comes out. So I think maybe for us, the idea to take away is, what can we do more often? What can we do to bring out that love that we innately have? Let's not wait to be crushed by a massive wave, but every day, how do we bring out that joy? How do we bring out that love? So let's end with that. Well, what do you do to bring out that love and joy? Every day.
I'm getting emotional just talking about. I mean, it might sound really strange, but I've had my fair share of trauma. I've had my wife passed. A few years ago, 3 years ago, and the strangest thing is that sometimes when I have a cry, when the salt water comes out of my eyes, for whatever reason, there's a strange dichotomy there. There's a paradox there. It does bring me joy to have that emotion, and I know that after I swim in the salt water or I cry, something like that. So swimming and crying, for some reason, as ironic as it might sound, it brings me a lot of joy to feel that emotion, to feel that deepness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ilan, I know you bring a lot of joy to people every day in the work that you do. hopefully I bring just a little bit as well.
Oh, mate. So
Let's
much,
keep
so
spreading
much.
the love. Let's
Spread
keep
the
running.
love.
Keep
Spread the
swimming.
love. Should we just run into the water?
Let's go.